the ESA is as an act is quite old. So my question to you is, what is the future of the ESA? Could it be eliminated? Should it be updated? And what's the likelihood of that?
Well, I don't see the Endangered Species Act being repealed. I think it's a landmark piece of legislation, viewed as such around the world, and it's something that this country, for the most part, takes a great deal of pride in. We like the notion of standing in firm support of our brothers and sisters that wear fur and feathers, that need our help, that require us to speak for them because they can't speak for themselves. And I think we take pride in the claim that nothing's going to disappear on our watch. We take pride in the notion that we're going to hand to our children and grandchildren a country full of opportunities. And these species and the landscapes upon which they depend really do represent opportunities. You know, Tom, when you cut our needs deep enough, all of our needs are met only if, and I mean the needs of humanity, the needs of United States citizens, are met only if our landscapes are healthy enough to provide food, cover, water, space. Everybody, everything needs food, water, cover, a way to get away from the elements. It might be your home, it might be a coat, but you need cover, and you need space. Everybody needs a little bit of space. Everything needs a little bit of space. Everything that's breathing this morning needs food, cover, water, space on a regular basis. Food, cover, water, space is provided by healthy landscapes. Healthy landscapes support these imperiled species. I think we generally get that. I'm not too terribly impressed with the ecological knowledge of our country, but I think we at least get that. That at the end of the day, the most important bottom line is not the almighty buck, but rather the capacity of local landscapes to provide for our needs as defined by food, cover, water, space. So I think the Endangered Species Act will be with us for a long, long time. I think that, like most things, if you take a look at it over time, you study it over time, you can find ways to improve it over time. I think the United States Fish and Wildlife Service has done an outstanding job over the years improving the Endangered Species Act to make it a better piece of legislation, to make it a law that we can be more proud of. And principally, they've made it a better law by integrating some common sense approaches to how the Endangered Species Act is implemented. There's lots of provisions now available under the Endangered Species Act that incentivize the participation of private landowners, for example. And private land is so very important for many of these species. Many imperiled species are critically dependent upon private land. Private land very much defines this country. So private land is very, very important. I'm convinced of that. I've got lots of examples where private land works very well to help save and recover these listed species. And in part, the private land works well because the United States Fish and Wildlife Service over the years has improved the Endangered Species Act to make it more user-friendly for private landowners.